Hey everybody, this is Tony over Class Eagles. I hope you're having a great day. As coaches, one thing that we talk about often is coaching. What we are actually doing on the field, what we are saying to kids, how we're helping them improve their level of play and enjoyment for the game. When it comes to coaching, there's a couple things that I always talk with coaches about in terms of what we are saying to players. I think coaching needs to be three things particularly, and this is what I focus on. There's more to it, obviously, but if I had to break it down to three very important key categories, and if coaches could focus on these three things, it would make a big difference for players. Is one that your coaching is meaningful. Two, it instills confidence in the players, and three, it is differentiated between the players on your team. So I want to talk about those three things real quick. First, in terms of coaching being meaningful, I think we're all guilty of it as coaches. I know I am, and it's something I've tried to catch myself doing on the field and improve on. Is what I call coach filler. It's a lot of information from the sideline that sounds like "great job, well done, keep working," and those type of things. Which there's a place for that, for coaching in terms of motivating players, but you want to make sure that your instruction is meaningful, meaning there's concrete information that players can take away from what you're saying and apply it to help them improve their level of play on the field. Instead of saying, let's a little better pass, which something I've heard coaches say, and I've said as well, can we give them information like make sure your foot's off the ground, lock your ankle, make sure your balance as the ball arrives, different things like that, that it's something they can actually use to help them have more success in the future. So as we're coaching, I always tell coaches to think about how much of the information coming out of them is meaningful for the players. Can the player take what you're saying and directly apply it to the game to help them improve? Second, when we're coaching, we need to make sure what we're saying is providing the player with confidence that they can get it right, that they can improve on it, that they have the ability to be better. Sometimes we correct, but we don't build, and we can leave the players thinking that they're never going to get it. They're just not good enough as a player to do what we're asking them to do, and we can never leave it that way with players. They have to know that we believe that they can do it the correct way. So as we're providing meaningful feedback, that we're also encouraging them and letting them know that we believe that they can do this, they continue to work hard and focus on it, that they'll get it right, that they need to try one more time. So I think that's important to make sure that the players know how we have the confidence we have in them, that they can do it well and they continue to improve in the areas that we want them to. The last thing is to differentiate, your instruction. I've worked with coaches and talked with coaches who, are very blanketed in their approach. They take the stance that this is how I coach. It's my way, or the highway, to use an old cliche. And the players have to adapt to me and my style. And for a player standpoint, I think it's important for players to learn how to learn from different styles of coaching. But as coaches, as professionals, people who our goal is to help players and reach players, I think it's our responsibility as well to differentiate how we work with each player. I think the best coaches don't just know the game, but really take the time to understand what each player individually needs from them. And with that in mind, especially in terms of the coaching, how it's delivered, when it's delivered, little things like that can make a big difference for players, because every player is different, just like every person's different. We all, like getting feedback differently and coaching differently and respond better to certain things than others. And as coaches, we can pick up on that from our players, and then use that to most effectively help them improve their level of play. So as we're working with teams and we're providing feedback and coaching as coaches do, just think about those three areas. And I think if you approach your instruction with your players with those three main things in mind, making sure what you're saying is meaningful, instilling confidence, and making sure you're differentiating between your players and what they need, and not only making blanketed statements or only coaching and instructing in one way. You're going to see a big impact and a huge rise in level of the players you work with throughout the year.